Hey everyone, it's Dylan from the Black Forest, and we're back again for another week here in the shop. We've got another exciting week ahead of us. We are finally going to be doing the maple burl pours for the Marriott. So those are those heavily decayed maple slabs you've seen us working on previously. And we're also going to be including some more door content that we've never showed on here before because you guys seem to like that so much in last week's video. So I hope you guys enjoy what we're going to do this week. Hey everyone, so it is actually Saturday right now, but we are so busy that we got everyone here working some overtime on the weekend. And we're getting ready to do some very cool pours here. Let me show you. We're finally getting ready to pour these maple slabs for Marriott hotels. This is for the hotel down in Portland that you guys saw in a previous video, and they picked these maple burl slabs. This is what I'm going to be using for the dye. I know you can't really see it, but it does say black dye on there somewhere. We're just going to be putting a few drops of this, so it's going to be kind of like a transparent gray color in the end, but it should look really, really good. So we'll show you the boys mixing up the resin right now. Next to me here right now is one of the demolded tables for the Marriott. This is maple burl, heavily decayed, these slabs were, and they're going to be used for their public communal tables in the new hotel renovation that's being done in Portland. So this is actually the hotel that you saw us go and visit when we did that video at Gobi Walnut. These are going to be, when they're situated, they're going to be end for end, kind of like flipped open like this, so they'll be almost like a mirror image of each other. And we're also going to be creating this kind of fancy base underneath. It's going to allow cables to come through the top, so it's going to be painful to do it, but we have to cut boxes in the top of these to put power into them. So it's gonna suck, but they will be nice and functional for the Marriott, and that's what we need. So over here, I'll just give you guys a quick look at the other one. So this is still an amazing piece, but in my opinion, it's not quite as nice as the other one. But you guys let us know whether you like the first or the second piece more. I'm thinking, like I said, I like the first, but they should look gorgeous. There's lots of really nice color in these. Now here, this is something we're very proud of, in that we weren't sure if it was gonna work, but it did. So this is a 10.5 inch thick pour. We've casted some maple burl slabs in there, and this is not, for those of you who know about epoxy, this is not normal to be able to pour this thick. Even with our product at room temperature, you can only pour it 2 inches thick. So we've done a special method of cooling for this. What we actually did is we put the bucket outside and mounted a whole bunch of snow up around it. So this method's easier if you live in Canada. Sorry guys, you need the cold weather and the snow. But it did work really well. It's still curing a little bit, so once it is cured up, we're probably gonna square it off and we'll show you guys what the final result looks like.
Hey guys, just about to start staining this door. Putting on Outdoor Osmo 9271, it's the ebony. And on this maple here, what we've done this time, we've done a little bit different. We've actually water popped or raised the grain so that we can get a more uniform finish. Most people know that maple tends to get blotchy from the stain, but I did a little sample piece and it looks like with water popping it's a lot nicer. You get a really smooth finish. So yeah, I'm just about to apply it right now. It doesn't really matter what you apply it with. I'm just applying with a really simple foam brush. Because I'm just gonna wipe it right off after. Typically you see me using a Mirka to kind of buff it on, but I chose to do it just by hand today, just to show that it's still possible to get the same effect. Using a Mirka is just a little bit faster, but you can get the same effect by just rubbing it on with your hand and wiping it off with a towel, and it still looks pretty good.
Just watch Ben apply the finish to this door here. He's actually got the second coat of stain on now. So that's kind of our process, is we usually do 2 coats of stain and then it's like 3 or 4 coats of the exterior oil on top of it afterwards. But you know, it's our belief that the more coats the better. Like the more protection you're going to get, the less maintenance you're going to have to do. Some people might only want to put 1 or 2 coats on, but we would just rather put more. Even though it's a little more effort, these doors are just going to last much longer that way. So once all of the components for the door are finished, then we actually put everything together. It's really important for us that everything's finished first, just so we get good oil coverage on everything. But then once it is, the first step that we do is we actually lay down this 2-sided self-adhesive neoprene gasket. But they're the best kind of gaskets to use for this exterior door construction because they're sticky on both sides, so you're not going to get any kind of leakage or any sort of gaps that are forming, and they're actually going to hold your glass or your panel in place. And then once that's in, we'll actually lay the glass or panel inside on top of that tape. And then we can head to our miter saw and cut the moldings at a 45-degree angle to actually fit in there. So the first corner is easy, you just cut it to 45 and then it lines up. And then to get the other corner to match, we're really just lining it up, marking it with a pencil and cutting by eye as close as we can. It's a little bit of trial and error, but that's the best way to get a perfect fit. Once everything's then in fitting perfectly, we'll just pull out the air nailer. And we shoot a few nails down the whole side of the molding, and that's just going to hold them in place so that that glass isn't going to move. And then it also allows for the moldings to be taken out easily if for any reason the glass panel has to be changed. Alright, so then behind me here right now is actually a different door than you saw us working on last week. It is another solid maple door, but you just saw Spencer put the panels and all the moldings in here. So all of our panels and all of the glass, they actually get sealed in with these, of course that turns on. They get sealed in with gaskets, and then we have all the moldings to go around on one side. And the gaskets just really help to give a good waterproof seal. So this is the door itself, and then over here, this is the frame that it's going to go inside of. So we've got the side lights with the same exact process that's been done on there. Well, there you go, everyone. That was a good week we had in the shop there. We got those big pours done for the Marriott. They're actually demolded right here in front of me. So next week we're going to be flattening these on the CNC machine, getting them sanded. And then these pieces are actually going to be heading to Geco for finishing. So what Geco does for us is actually a spray finish instead of an oil finish. We're going to try and head over there when they're finishing them to show you that process and how it's different. But we will see you guys in next week's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.